Alright guys, Old Blue Accord back. Today is a little update on the old Sprinter van. So, I hadn't done much of a video with it because it's been cold and I don't have a garage that it fits in. So, basically just kind of tucked it in right here. And yeah, went ahead and put new tires on it. And I went to start it today, but I did do a voltage check quick and the battery's a little low. And I left my OBD2 little dongle in the port, and I think it's drawn it down a little bit, but I need to put the correct battery in it. As you can tell, that's not the correct battery. So what I've done so far is we got new tires put on it, and what I'll do is I'll flash them to you real quick. So tires on it, of course, were not in hot shape, so now we got brand new Cooper Discovers. Yeah, good looking tire, good looking tread. 4 brand new ones. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put the correct battery in. I had made this little jumper from the fuse box to the positive just to fit that battery in. There's not the correct battery. I did start taking fluid out with the turkey baster like I've been doing on the other. Sucked it out, and you can see the line right there. So now I'm gonna use the fluid I used on the other vehicles. This is open, and once this stuff starts opening, it wants to draw moisture. So I'm going to put that in here and top this off. That's really about it for now. Like I said, got driving it the other day and been working on the transmission. Now the transmission deal is kind of a funny thing because it's a nag. Let me get my camera put back on here. It's a nag 1 transmission, so it's a 5-speed automatic. And it doesn't come with a dipstick, it comes with the plug, and you buy a dipstick to check it. So originally when I checked it sitting here dead cold, I never would get fluid in it. Now as you can see, I got fluid. So funny thing about this dipstick I don't like is the black plastic. It's really hard to tell what's going on. They could have made that, and that's what the fluid looks like. They could have made that white where you could have maybe had some contrast or red possibly. Yeah, but anyway, so checking it cold's the wrong way. It needs to be warmed up. It needs to be on dead level ground. So I did a bunch of driving around the other day. Put 10 gallons of fuel in it. It needs fresh fuel. Not done the fuel filter. I'm gonna run this tank of gas out, diesel, and then there's where the level is dead cold. And again, you can't maybe just catch it in the light there. Yeah. And it's actually pretty full, so I'm not real scared about that because I know I was down low, and then it gives you temperatures on the stick. So you're looking at what I think is 25, that would be centigrade, and then 80. And you want to be in that range depending on the temperature. So it's temperature specific, and you're only adding maybe a quart or two, or no, I'm sorry, not a quart. Good Lord. You're really only adding about maybe an ounce or two at a time. I really just did 2 ounces. I just did 2 ounces at a time. I've been using this for top off. I've been using this Valvoline Max Life. That's what was recommended on the Sprinter forums. And it's age-old story. I think you guys know. I did buy a whole kit to change it with brand new real fluid in it. But you know, on older automatic transmissions, a lot of times it's better just to not mess with them. It does have 80,000 miles on it. I can't say the fluid is burnt. It's obviously low. There's a leak. I think it's on the connector plug. There's an electrical connector plug on these nag transmissions that leaks. There's a few O-rings. I think that's where it's leaking, just getting underneath there. But yeah, it drove great. I mean, I ran around with the new tires on, like I said, put fuel in it. Just gave it a good shakedown run. And it's tough when you got a van that you don't know anything about, and then you put $1,000 worth of tires in it. I mean, you got to do it to know it's okay. So yeah, so that's where we're at with that. Like I said, you top off the fluid, change the battery. The oil is great. The oil was fresh when I bought it, so it runs and starts pretty good. I had one starting issue maybe a week ago where it just lost its prime, and I had been starting and running it, so it's going to be an ongoing thing. There's no push pump in the tank on this model. It's all by suction, by vacuum. There's a little tiny suction pump right here with a little line on it, and that's what draws the fuel from your tanks. Probably not the best idea. They went to a lift pump, I believe the next year. This is 2003. I believe 4 or 5. They went to a pump in the tank to push the fuel, which is a much better idea, obviously. So yeah, that's about where we're at. I'm gonna change this battery. Like I said, I left the OBD2. I'm trying to read the codes, and I'm also trying to see the transmission temperature. And my little torque app and stuff, it just won't. I can see a lot of things like throttle position and boost and this and that, regular temperature, but I really wanted to see the most important thing, the transmission temperature, to know where I'm at while I'm checking it and topping it off. And I can't get the torque app to do it. It's an older vehicle, 2003. It's OBD2, but it's probably not even CAN bus. I don't even know what it is. Nobody else does. I've had somebody else look at it. They can't clear the codes on it. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. I mean, it might be something I'm just gonna have to live with. I'm gonna do the battery quick. You don't want to leave batteries unhooked for long periods of time on electronic type vehicles. You could get some BCM mismatches, and you could get the transmission way out of whack. If it gets in a mode where it's not really what they call deadheaded, but if it's in an emergency mode where it's locked, it's only going to have one gear, third. You drive it, you're going to burn it up. We don't want to go down that road. Transmission is pretty expensive, $6,000-$8,000 for a new one, so we want to kind of keep this, within budget. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it, how it runs and everything. I'll do a running video. As we go along. These windshield wipers, the headlights are kind of grungy, like I said. I'll go ahead and pull this battery. I'm not going to do it on camera because it's kind of a strain to get it in there. I'm not looking forward to it. Plus, I want to clean the terminals, put a little, hopefully maybe some dielectric grease. I was looking for it. That other battery's in good shape. It was down for a couple years, but I rejuvenated it, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's really about it with the Sprinter van real quick. Like I said, it's a newer vehicle. I'm just going to keep putting more miles on it, drive it. I'm going to start driving it to work. Get some confidence in it. Basically, all you're doing is getting driving confidence in it. Figure out the transmission. As soon as I started putting fluid in it, I mean, it was down. I put a whole quart in it. It took me hours of fooling around, but I did put a whole quart in. I should say that. That's a lot on those type of transmissions. So, and every time I put 2 or 3, 4 ounces in it, it made more improvement where it wasn't slipping between shifts. It wasn't doing funny things when you're at a stoplight. So it made a lot of improvements. So it was really just fluid level. It's kind of what I thought. Addressing the leak and all that. And like I said, I've got new fluid, got a new fuel filter. That's definitely coming. I'm gonna run this tank of fuel out. That's still old. 15 gallons of old fuel plus 10 gallons of fresh fuel. You want to run that out some more, a little more additive. I didn't put additive in this time, so I went a little crazy with the fuel additive. You don't want to go too far with that stuff. So just good clean fuel. I went to the truck stop. I didn't go to the mom and pop store. Yeah, I'll do a video about changing this fuel filter out because it's got some kind of unusual fittings, how to get them off and everything, and bleeding it. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it'll lose its prime again, so I'll make sure I got 2 batteries ready to go. That'll be a fun video. I'm not the biggest fan of diesel trucks in general, but they're pretty much maintenance free, honestly, besides the fuel filter. Even less so than gas, so yeah, kind of fun. Well, thanks a lot for looking. If you got any questions, I've got plenty of questions about this Sprinter van. I'm on that forum, so I'm reading every day. Probably a little too much with electronics and stuff on these vans, but Mercedes and stuff. But that's where we're at. Old Blue Accord and the old Sprinter van. Thanks a lot for looking. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.